Hey everybody, it's Blake on 30A. I often get asked what's a luxury home, so I thought I'd take a little bit of time out of my day and show you kind of the details that make it. These two are under construction for a client of mine. Let's go check it out, I'll show you the details. Hey, so first off, when you walk up here, you'll see that it's kind of messy. This is an active construction zone, so there's a lot of things that go into finishing this because it is a true work of art. But one of the things, just real quick, when you even come up here is, you probably didn't even notice these edges. A lot of times this will be cased in with some sort of 2x4 treated lumber casing. Well, this is a mitered edge, and what that means is each one of these boards has been cut at an angle so that they will butt up just like a picture frame does. And so the reason why that's special is because it takes the laborers a lot longer to do it. Every piece has to be cut specific to join up with the other piece. So that's something that you'll just feel as you come up. The other thing you'll notice is on a luxury home is they're not going to use the bare minimum. This is a cement board siding, and usually it's a lot thinner. So they went with a more expensive product that gives it more of that depth effect so that you feel it. You wouldn't have even seen either one of these elements walking in, but you would have felt it when you came up. So then as you come in, one of the things that I always try to tell people is you're not going to notice what makes it feel a certain way. So a lot of these things that I'm pointing out are things when you walk into a house, I can show you two different ones at the same time. Same price range, built at different times or by different people. And you walk in one and be like, Blake, I love this house. It just feels great. It feels like home. And you walk into another one and you don't really know exactly why it is, but it just won't feel right. So some of these details and what these contractors do by taking the time to notice all these little things will make the difference, all the differences in the world. So right when you come in here, you'll kind of see, we've got a little bit of crown, we got stuff going on the ceilings all over, and you come in and you're like, wow, this is pretty cool. So, but some of the small details are what make that. For instance, like right here on this crown molding. So this is a door jamb, and normally you just have your casing, which is just this board, and the backboard. Well, these guys have also taken a 1x2 right here and put it around it. And one of the things that makes this special is this edge is mitered, or beveled. So every piece of this wood was cut to fit with the other, and then they had to go in and take a router and route each edge to make it soft. Now obviously it'll be painted, but that level of craftsmanship is part of the detail that makes these homes, or makes a luxury home special. And then as you come on in, these are just aesthetics. These have nothing to do with the design of the home, which I can tell you and talk you through, but just for instance, I'm gonna get in this just so you see how big this is. And most places don't have something like this because they're buying one that's already prefabbed or a certain standard size. This one was crafted by masons, and so it's wider. It's kind of more that medieval type feeling where you can just walk in at zero entry because the hardwoods will just butt up to it. But and obviously all this will be cleaned up and there'll be a Venetian plaster on top of it, but some of the cool things. The other thing, so kind of the design, so these are finishes. When we start talking about the design and the layout and the functionality, that's what really can kind of set these things apart, because you can have all the best features in the world, but if it's not designed to what people like to do and how they live, it's not gonna work. So when you come out, one of the things that's important too is, so in today's lifestyle, what people are looking for when they're getting down here or in a second here, like for one, a secondary market is way different than a primary, which is where most folks come from. So there's a lot of elements go into that. We'll touch on those in other videos, but for out here, it's all about outdoor entertaining and dining. And so you don't have just this short porch that's 6 or 8 feet wide. I believe this one's 12, I'd have to double check, but so you not only have the depth factor here to be able to get a good table and lots of seating, will be an outdoor kitchen. We also have this Kumaru decking, which is a South African hardwood. This is basically teak. This is what they put on luxury yachts because it withstands the elements really well. So this will last a lot longer, but it's probably 3 or 4 times just the cost of materials for a regular deck. You're really not only a material markup, but you're just time to execute, and you have to have special people that can execute on those levels. But those are just a few things outside. I don't want to bore you guys too much. Let's go check out one of the bedrooms. I'll show you some cool features. So I know I pointed out the trim on the door jambs. One thing that's cool here, if you can get that along the ceiling in your crown molding, you're like, again, it feels cool, and when you come in here that there's just been a lot of work and a lot of details put in place. But so just in this crown molding, you've got 4 pieces of lumber at every section. So you've got a base plate, another plate on top of that, a roof plate, and then you've actually got a beveled piece of crown to tie it all in together, but you don't even realize that. And so again, you've got 4 times the material cost of typical crown, And then you also have the labor behind cutting each individual piece and installing it, and then on top of the other pieces. So those little things really add up for cost-wise, and that's why most people don't do it, because most builders can't do a lot of things like this and still get the market price. So just very cool features that you'll see in what a lot of luxury homes try to do, in something a little bit extra. So for one, you walk into a bathroom and a lot of times you'll have like a shower, or you'll have, and obviously there'll be glass doors here. But what's really neat when you see someone go above and beyond is when they do floor to ceiling all the way, and not just the shower, but you'll notice all the way across the wall. So from this side to that side. And even the window jambs were jammed out with the tile as well. You'll see all the way up to the window. And obviously if you're doing anything luxury today's where you gotta have soft closed doors, otherwise you're not even playing. I guess I ought to do a plug for this house since obviously we've got it listed, but with 7 bedrooms, you start trying to figure out elements to make each bedroom different and special for folks that come down. And a lot of times you'd be like, I don't really want to go to the 3rd floor to sleep every night, so they try to do as much architecturally in these rooms as possible, and that's why you've got these little insets here to kind of make it, to just break up the squareness of the room. You've got the vaulted ceiling, and obviously right here you've got your nice Gulf views. So that's just a few of the details that make these things different and kind of what makes a luxury home. A lot of builders have different touches that they do and they like to finish these with. I got to give a plug to these builders because they do an awesome job from planning to finish. Coastal Elements 30A, great guys, Jim and Scott. If you ever get a chance to work with them, they're awesome. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a lot from it. If you liked it, please hit like below and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you next time.